language does matter and does influence attitudes and behavior, will, we hope, with this change in language, adopt a more responsible, humane, and mature attitude towards our pets. It's an emotional issue to begin with. There are more, I was told once that there are more complaints to California grand juries about animal control than any other single subject. And I, based on my term on the grand jury, I say that makes sense. We are emotional about our pets. We invest in them all kinds of emotion and attitudes, some of which may not make much sense, but it is at the level of emotion, and that's what matters. So it starts out as a loaded topic. It then, in this particular instance, got further confused because of the conflation of people who simply want this change and people who have a much more radical and drastic attitude about animals and our relationship with animals. And the animal rights group, the PETA group, however you want to characterize them, are take a stance on this which is drastically at odds with most of us here in society, but the minute their voice enters the fray, it complicates things, and we start responding to them rather than to the people in our community who are in favor of this proposal. Having said that, my own preference would be to, instead of deleting the word owner, simply to add the word guardian, because I think that will preserve some measure of continuity. And I think we are not trying to change the fundamental relationship that most of us have with our pets, but simply to make a change in language. And so that would be my proposal here.
Thank you. Further discussion, Councilmember Landis?
I think what I'm looking for is the middle way between the perspectives of this is going to change the way people view animals and reduce and perhaps prevent animal abuse in our community, and the other view, which is it's going to create a loss of rights for some individuals, business owners, and other people, and confusion. And I'm kind of trying to find that place in the middle that makes sense. And to me, what makes sense is that because we have existing laws in the California Penal Code that address how animals are supposed to be treated, I think those laws should be enforced. That's an important part of having less animal abuse. And I think that we need to, I was talking to Chief Chris Huey, the police chief here. Dewey, I'm sorry. Chris Dewey, the other day about, I'm getting everybody's name straight at this point still, I'm in orientation, about the GRIP program, which is the gang resistant, I don't know what the other two IP stands for. Is Paramount program that's been used to educate kids in 5th grade in the Ukiah City schools. And what they found from this program being implemented is that they've reduced violence at Pomalita by 50%, incidence of violence by 50%. So to me, that speaks to where we can change attitudes about violence to others and to animals is through education with children. That's, to me, where the answer resides. It's like we should do these things. Animals should be treated well. We should be kind to them. We should be compassionate, and we need to teach children how to do that. That's where the solution lies, in my opinion. That's it.
I think it's been a valuable discussion. I think it's very important. I think a lot of you realize that vocabulary is declining in America and in the world, probably faster in America than in some other places in the world. Words are declining without 1984, without Big Brother. Words are declining because of the image-based technological culture that we are in. So I think it's incredibly important that anyone under the age of 40 actually considers the meanings of words. And so I think this has been valuable. My students have been wondering about whether we're wasting our time, whether it's valuable, and just because they're doing that, it is valuable. So, and again, this is not quite the same as ordering a bomb to be dropped or troops to be sent, or it's, if we were to enact this change of wording, and if those who claim the sky will fall, we just change it back, okay? I don't think that our decision is so dangerous that it's potentially harmful to society. If we were to make a mistake, we could change it, and so I think it's very important. The discussion has encouraged the community to wonder about their relationship with animals and the meanings of words. And so I hope we can move towards a change, at the very least, the compromise wording that Councilmember Thomas suggested. Councilmember Roden.
Well, I'll try to, I have so many thoughts about this. Initially, when this issue was brought forward, it seemed like a very simple, straightforward thing, and it was Councilmember McCowan who asked that this be brought to the council for discussion, and so that's, here we are. And after that happened, the council members received an onslaught of information in opposition to the proposal. And a lot of it was very fearful, but made me fearful about the implications of the change. And so I did do a lot of research on the issue, and there are a lot of very, important, substantial organizations that oppose the change, like like Dr. Haynes said. I know in Oregon they did as well. But the more that I looked into, the more that I read about the precise reasons for their opposition, the more I found them to be unfounded. That they just, at least in relation to what we're considering, where we might, well, I think we're not looking at a substitution anymore of the word guardian for owner. We're looking maybe at owner/guardian, and that guardian really means an owner. And because of that, that these words have a legally equivalent meaning, that many of those fears that were expounded by the opposition don't hold water. Except there was one thing I thought, which was, well, why do we have to change the ordinance? I mean, to have this effect, which I think is a valuable thing. I mean, just because we add a word to the dictionary doesn't mean people are going to start using that word. I mean, there are tons of words in the dictionary that people already don't use. So why, because we put it in this code, is this going to make a difference? So I'm thinking about that, and I remembered that years ago when I was in graduate school, I read a really interesting book by a very influential linguist and a philosopher, and it was called Metaphors We Live By. And in fact, the linguist is George Lakoff, who now currently he's well known for his book about, I forget, think about the elephant or something. He's now really famous. But so before he became popular, he wrote this book in 1980. And I'm just going to read a couple things. He says, well, this is somebody summarizing the view, which is that